So this video is going to look at one of the areas which is really popular within Xero. It's one of their main features, but also one of the biggest queries that I get. So we're talking here about bank feeds, and I'm just going to explain how to go about setting up bank feeds. So again, I'm just going to jump into Xero. Here I've got a test organization. I've literally just created this, so there's no information in here. So the first thing we need to do is add a bank account. So if I go in and add the account, first off, type the bank name. So it's really important with this that when you type a bank name, you then click and select one of the drop-down ones. All of the banks that Xero links to are stored in here, but depending on which one you click, Xero will give you the right instructions for setting up the bank feed. So, for example, that's NAB. If I was Westpac, I'd just make sure that I click on the correct one, and notice here there's an Australian and a New Zealand one. So I'll go back to NAB for the moment. An account name, that's not the name with the bank, that's how you want it within Xero. So everyday account, checking account, primary account, Melbourne account, whatever you want to call it. BSB and account number. So here I'm going to put in some fake ones, but you need to make sure this BSB and account number is exactly matching your business one. If it doesn't, when Xero tries to set up the feeds, it will fail because it won't pass bank security, because it will think you're trying to access someone else's details. So as I said, those are fake, obviously, but in your case, put in real details. And then finally, if you do batch payments and use ABA files, you can put in the details here to make sure that the bank will recognize them. So for the moment, I'm just going to save that back. The way to tell that you've selected the right bank and use the click option to get it is that you'll get a nice little logo icon of your bank. And again, make sure your BSB and account number are correct here. So having done those two stages, I've now got a Get Bank Feeds option. If I click on that, it will take me into the help file, but this is customized bank by bank. So just quickly, you'll notice up the top here, the address that I'm at is _NAB feed. And it's specifically about setting up a NAB partner feed. If I'd selected Westpac, it would be Westpac, and so on and so forth. So here you'll see for this one I have to download, complete and send a form, and I have to send the form to NAB itself. So depending on your bank, there's a few different workflows. Some banks you can just log into your internet banking and approve Xero straight away. Some of them you have to download a form and send it to the bank itself. That's the case here as well. And some of them you have to download a form and send to Xero. So it just depends on the bank's security and how they handle it. But in every case, it should be a maximum of about 2 weeks to get things up and running. So it is one of the first things that you can do whilst you're still setting up your file. So in this case here, I would just click on the form to download it. And then this will demonstrate just my form. So it's just looking for some information on account numbers and account names. Obviously, the account numbers and BSBs in here must exactly match what's in Xero. And obviously be aware then on the forms what it's telling you and where to send them. If you're not sure of what goes in any field, back in the help file here, I can click on these and it will explain. So for the account service provider username, it's looking for the email address you log into Xero with. So be sure to check those, because sometimes people put the wrong details in. And again, obviously bank security is fairly strict. They won't be able to do it if it's not filled in correctly. So from here, obviously, you'd fill that form in, mail it off to NAB, and then usually within 5 to 10 days, you'll see the feed start coming through. So this green button will disappear, and then in here you'll have a graph of details and your balance will start matching there as well. So I hope that's helped to explain how to set up bank feeds, and I hope it's been useful for you as well.